doing today?
Great, thank you.
Good. First, I'd like to congratulate the young people who sang. Yes, clap them back. We applaud you on the work that you've already done, and we're looking forward to having this opportunity to work with you, because it's a smaller number of people. Rather than picking and choosing who gets to sing on the class, we thought that we would like to have all of you have an opportunity to work with our clinician. The clinician today was supposed to be Sylvia Twine, who is unfortunately had to have emergency procedure back in Washington, D.C., so she didn't make it. But graciously, two of your judges have agreed to do a class today and with you, and they'll take turns, and we'll kind of work a little bit more informally and organically, so don't be surprised. We don't have a set agenda. But also we wanted to leave some time for them, so you'll hear comments directly from them about your performance, but also for you to ask questions of them if you would like. As I said last night, you will receive the comments that this level of judges and the judges who did the original pre-screening, you're going to get all of those comments. So you'll have those to take to your teachers. Dr. Rodgers, Dr. Jane Schoonmaker Rodgers, we claim her here in Ann Arbor, even though she's been teaching down the road. She lives in Ann Arbor and travels down. She joined the faculty, voice faculty in 2000, fall of 2000 at Bowling Green State University. And she spearheads the College of Musical Arts new master specialization in voice science and pedagogy. Her performance, recording, and stage directing credits in the United States and Europe include many places: the Czech Republic, New York City. She's got a long list of places. Opera, Ohio Light Opera, Michigan Opera Theater, Cincinnati Opera, Michigan Lyric Opera, Salt City, Playhouse, Syracuse, and other places. She holds degrees from Cincinnati Conservatory of Music and the University of Michigan. Go Blue. She was formerly on the faculties of Grand Valley State University, University of Michigan, University of Toledo, Adrian College, Albion College, and Spring Arbor College. Would you guess that she probably is an experienced teacher to work with you? She is General Director of the Ann Arbor Festival of Song, which I learned for the first time reading your bio, and a longtime member of a professional church choir in Detroit. So we welcome Dr. Schoonmaker Rodgers. Your other judge and clinician is Kisma Jordan. And as an innovator in the musical world, Kisma Jordan strives to increase the diversity of classical music and opera by challenging the biased system deeply entrenched in the industry for centuries. So you can see why I invited her to be a part of this competition. A classically trained opera singer, composer, and educator, Kisma is distinctly aware of the power of her voice, not only as an instrument, but also as a vehicle to effect change. You gotta go to her website, it's beautiful. She is an artist that values authenticity and justice and owns the truth of her vocal gift and its connection to her life's work and purpose. She has degrees she has multiple degrees in vocal music performance, including a bachelor's from Kentucky State University, a Master of Musical and Vocal Performance from the College of Musical Arts at Bowling Green. I didn't actually know that. And a graduate performance degree in opera from Peabody Institute. That's my institution too. During her vocal studies, which started at age 14, she received training from renowned voice teachers, including Metropolitan Opera soprano Myra Merritt, who gives our soprano prize, and Ruth Golden. So she has a long resume as a performer. So I encourage you to go to her website and listen to that beautiful voice. She has sung for us here some years in the competition. It's simply some stunning work. She has sung a C Mahler Symphony with Jackson Symphony. She's been with the Detroit Symphony and many other places, and with Michigan Opera Theater. So you've got wonderful teacher, performers. So without further ado, I forgot somebody that's most important in the room. Peter Smith, thank you for playing. He's been with you all day, and anyone that
And
is...
will continue to
And
be
we'll
with you for the
continue
rest
to
of
be
the
with you for this hour, hour and a half, but also anyone that goes into the finals. He will be with you for tomorrow, so you don't even have to worry about, am I going to have to switch pianists? He will be with you the whole time. So I will turn it over to my two colleagues with my sincere gratitude. It was a switch very soon, very recent that they would do this, as well as Frances Brockington, who could not be here. She was the judge that actually stepped in on very short notice to come and judge you this morning, the third woman that you saw. I would also like to thank John Toretti, is the last judge who is sitting behind you. Mr. Toretti he won't be giving you comments today in the class, but I did want to say that he is the founder of the Verdi Opera competition, and so we're honored always to have him here because, as George Shirley said, the impetus for founding this competition was because he was a judge in his competition, which deals with Italian repertoire. And he said, if there can be a competition that's all dedicated to Italian repertoire, why not a competition that deals with African American repertoire? And so that began with a small kernel. How many years has your competition gone on?
Ours?
Yeah.
29.
29 years. So that tells you, Mr. Shirley was a part of it for many years, and this one has gone on now for 13. I can't even believe it's been 13 years since we started this, but the impetus came from that. And I always give honor to those who have inspired us along the route that we're on now. So I am going to shut up, and I look forward to hearing this wonderful singing. Don't forget, I'll see you all tonight as well. I'm going to stay, but I'll see you tonight at the final Masterclass. That is when you find out who moves to the next level. But as in my estimation, you're all winners. And if for some reason you didn't win a prize this year, I hope the prize you won was new connections, new knowledge, and that you'll be back. I expect to see you again. Thank you.
Thank you. So I think we're just going to go in performance order. So Lilya, if you'd like to go first. Well, just sing whichever song is most comfortable for you right now. We're okay with that. Sure. And we may stop you halfway through. How much time should we take, by the way?
15
minutes?
for each.
Okay. Thank you. Okay.
Under
and what the name of the piece is with the composer, just so that everybody will learn the new music that the music you're presenting. So would you give us that, please?
My name is Lilya Heidelbaugh. I am a junior at Father Gabriel High School here in Ann Arbor, and I just sang "The Glory of the Day Was in Her Face" by Florence.
Yay. Nice work. I really enjoyed some of the things that I really enjoyed about your singing is your sense of phrase is really beautiful. I always felt secure. I never felt like you were going to run out of breath. It always sounded very comfortable. You're very poised in your presentation. You look relaxed, so it makes the audience relaxed. So that's really good. A couple things I think you might consider. Does your teacher talk to you about your alignment? What does your teacher say?
Well, I have a tendency to lean forward sometimes.
That your body right now thinks that's how you support your tone. Your body thinks that. You don't think that in your brain, but your body thinks that. So we have to tell your body a different story, don't we? Yeah. So, how do you address that?
Probably just like rolling my shoulders back and breathing in this.
There's actually even a better way. I'm going to come and stand next to you. So what I'd like is for your spine to be straight. Just throwing your shoulders back isn't enough, is it? Yeah. That just makes you tense in the back here. But it's one way to think about it. I had a teacher of Alexander technique one time tell me to follow your forehead. So like if I'm standing like this and I do this with my forehead, it changes everything. Does that make any sense to you? Just go, try it. Just show me what I just told you. Not bad. Now, let me make sure it's not your whole face going, but just your forehead. See, yeah, feel that? And feel how it changes the way this feels? How do you like that?
Good, I have more space.
Want to just try a couple phrases and just see if you can kind of keep that kind of weightless feeling? See if that helps. Let's try. It's good so far. Now you see what you did the first time? Listen, we gotta go. You know, some of that, are you in choir?
Yeah.
Yes. You know, some of that, I swear, comes from choir singing. Because you'll be like, conductor, I've got to pay attention. So you kind of reach forward that way. So when you take your breath, how do you take your first breath? Yeah. There are different ways to take breaths, aren't there? You can take it through your nose, you can take it through your mouth. Some teachers talk about taking it in the shape of the first vowel you have to sing. I kind of like that too. I don't think about it myself enough, but I saw it's a nice idea. So you have time while he's playing to take a real, you want to see how that feels. Remember I'm the queen. Yeah, that's good.
Space to breathe, but I also felt more confident in the way that I was standing.
Oh, totally. It gives you a whole different idea, doesn't it? It's like, okay, I can do this. Yes. Because if the thorax opens, which if you lengthen, if the spine lengthens, which the forehead leads, doesn't the forehead, not the face, because that takes it out, but the forehead leads the spine. And then, or just that, it's that thing that dancers do, too. They have that thread, but it's kind of the same thing. But I always like to feel it better this way, for me. Your mileage may vary, but you feel it. Yeah, the spine lengthens, then this opens up automatically. You feel that kind of buoyant freedom. So let's emphasize that. Just sing a few more phrases. I'll let you go a little further than just one phrase. See how that feels. Take your breath slow. It's an old habit. Do it one more time. Just like one bar.
Yeah, just 1 minute.
Yeah.
have like a lot more, just like length and ability to breathe and take fuller breaths so that my phrasing can also be longer.
Excellent. I'm glad that's really great feedback. Thank you for your giving me that feedback by saying that. That makes it understand that. I think you understood what I was asking for. That's very good. Did you guys hear a difference?
Yes.
Yeah. Would anyone like to articulate what they heard different?
More depth of tone.
Did you feel like it was more? I think there was more happening here too,
Yeah.
because you were doing it that way. Yeah. 'Cause this, if this is engaged, you feel it yourself. This will support your tone. So you want to get it out of the way, and then this has to. Then what else in your body can? This must do it now. So that was really good though. Should we go a little further in the song? I think we have enough time to do a little bit more, don't we? Okay. Yeah. So when in doubt, you can kind of think of the rule of thumb is that back here should feel long and loose, and here we should be short and loose. And that if you do that, then the body kind of follows, doesn't it? You feel it already?
Yeah.
All right, so let's go right from where we left off if we can, and I'd like you to experiment with taking that further, and then we might work on something else, but go ahead. In the score, it's marked forte.
Which part? Sorry.
To my dull ears.
Okay.
And then even though it's a vocal retard, I feel as though you might be pulling back a little. Do you think you are? You're trying to sing too delicately? Yeah, you don't have to be delicate. What I see, occasionally when I see you lined up right, I see you allowing your more space, which is very nice. And you should indulge yourself with a little more of that. I would say, can we just go from the birds that signal to their mates at dawn? Can we go? Now that starts piano, but you don't have to be way piano. You know these dynamic levels are not decibel levels. They're more color than they are actual.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think you can come. So when you're singing about the birds, right? The birds that signal to their mates at dawn, to my dull ears, my tear-blinded sight. That's kind of my tear-blinded sight. What are you singing about here?
I'm crying because she's up.
Yeah. This is full of grief, isn't it? But it's not sweet, soft grief. You can make it a little more intense grief. So can you give us more? See what it feels like? All right, let's try it.
The birds that signal to their mates at dawn, to my dull ears, to my tear-blinded sight, are one with all the dead, since she is gone.
One with all the what? The dead, is it? One with all the dead. And she puts that on a melisma. Dead. And then she gives you a breath. And she gives you, and you're taking a pause, but I think you could make more of that. Yeah, okay, so, this is very tragic. This is grief-stricken. And you look a little that time. Can you, for fun, be ridiculously grief-stricken for this? Take it way too far. Can you just see what it feels? Can you be over dramatic for us and see what it feels like? Yeah, just say the same thing.
Same place?
Yeah, same place, because I like going to that leap. You want that leap? Yeah.
The birds that signal to their mates at dawn, to my darling,
More.
to my tear-blinded son.
Even more now.
Are one with all the dead, since she is gone.
Well, now, that was almost enough. How did you feel doing it that
I
way?
felt a lot better.
You know, that's one of the mysteries of singing, is that we work on our technique and we work on our technique, and then we get up and play the character, and all of a sudden, if we're enough in the character, the breath takes care of itself. And someone say, oh my God, I don't know what I did, but it was really great. But so you just gave yourself the freedom to do that. I would say do more of that with this song. Your body was ready for it. Your voice is ready for it, and you're ready for it. But so don't take that conservative approach. Take a crazy approach. You know, the great artists you like watching, they're all a little bit crazy. Yeah, that's real. Yes. Bit over the top. Very nice though. Anybody have any other feedback for her before I let her relax? Or do you want to sing the whole thing one more time?
We need to probably.
Oh, we probably are too. Okay, we probably are. Well, thank you so much. Did you have anything you wanted to add, my colleague? Okay.
Who was next in that order?
Sloane, I think you're next.
Hi, my name is Sloane O'Neill. I go to Grosse Pointe North High School in Grosse Pointe Woods, and I'm going to be singing Love Let the Wind Cry, How I Adore Thee by Undine Smith-Moore.
How I adore
how did you feel about it?
I liked it a lot.
You liked it a lot, good, okay. You should sing this song. What do you like about this song?
I just like the changes it goes throughout the song. It just feels like a complete story with the beginning and the end.
Right. So there are some things, because I've heard you sing this once today, that I'd like to help you become more consistent with, okay? So, like the first note of this song is already an art, right?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna look and see, yeah, that's it, right? Okay. So, when we're dealing at the top of the staff, there are certain things we can do once we get over the staff, but while we're on the staff, there are certain things we cannot do. One of those things is vowel modification. As much as we might want to, we really have to sing true vowels. So, what's the first word of this song?
Love.
Love, right? So how are we going to sing love? When you sing love, what vowel are you singing? Okay, which is kind of a present, right? So when we sing how are you preparing for the first note when you tackle this entrance? Because you don't get a lot, right? So it's a short runway we have here.
Yeah.
So how do we prep that note? Because it's a high note and it opens the song. It's going to set the tone for everything. So how are you preparing?
I breathe and I let it rip.
You let it rip. So, and that's good. Keep that, because you'll have to do a lot of letting it rip, okay? So what I don't want you to do is fear the first note of this song because of what it is. I do want you to feel free to let it be loud, because in the score it's marked fortissimo, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying love, right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna let love cry, right?
Yeah.
So we gotta let love ring, right? Okay. So with all that in mind and thinking about that, I just want you to think about the vowel. Let's just drop the L and just think the vowel, okay? We might do this about 6 times. So,
Cool.
okay, so when you say let me say are you saying Okay, so when you say how long is this note?
3
I'm not going to get you in trouble for the time. I mean, honestly, when you have a high F, I would hold it as long as I could too.
Yeah.
So, but that note has to go somewhere.
Right.
Okay? So once you're there, what are you going to do? We have to ascend that note. Okay? So it's not, the note gets here and it can't do this, but the note should go here. Okay? Because there's an arrow, you're singing through that to get to the rest of the phrase. So we can't, spill it all on the first note, but we do have to have some emphasis, but remember where we're going. So after the first note, where are you going?
Down.
Well, when I say where you're going, I mean directionally with the phrasing, where are you going? What's the first phrase?
Love let the wind cry on the dark mountain.
Okay, so let's think about getting through. Love, let the wind cry. We're on the dark, so there's a re-engaging you have to do once we come through that. So we're like running, and then we're running again.
Yeah.
Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's try it.
Let the wind cry on the dark mountain.
Keep going. Okay, how did that feel?
A lot better.
How did it sound?
Yeah.
Okay, it sounded more consistent in terms of you knowing where you're going beyond that first note, okay? So everything is intentional. Okay, so do that again and let's keep going.
Let the wind cry on the dark mountain, and in the ash tree and the tall
Okay, so I'm gonna, when you're breathing, where are you breathing after before voice of thunderous legions? Are you breathing before voice?
I breathe before with the
Okay, and you're taking with the through?
breathe voice of thunderous legions, then I breathe, and then I go next phrase.
Okay, so with the are quick notes. Okay, when you are trying to, you need the breath at the end of the phrase here.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense what I'm saying? So I'm trying to get you to think about being mindful in terms of how you're conserving your breath. It's already difficult because you're singing English, okay? And so we need like the consonants, right? And there are a lot of those. It's a lot of, okay? So we need all the breath with the consonants, and then you still have to jump up and sing that, okay? So what I want you to think about is when you have shorter notes, keep them supported, but don't spin your wad on, okay? And then when you do get back up there, just release it. Sometimes I feel like when you get to right before a high note, I see your mind saying, here comes a high note. And so we kind of like stop, and I just want you to just trust and release into it. Release the breath into that note as opposed to holding it and like shelving the note.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? It's like you take the breath and you put it up as opposed to just letting the breath go through it?
Yeah.
Okay. What's a good a space for you to get back into, well, let's do it off of the top. Let's get that love.
Let the wind cry on the dark mountain, bending the ash tree and the tall hemlocks, with the great voice of thunderous legions.
Good, keep going.
How I
Okay, reset. Okay, so if you have breath left, let it out.
Yeah.
And then let's take a new breath and re-engage, okay? You can start from right there.
Let the horse torrent in the blue canyon, murmuring mightily out on the gray midst of primal chaos.
Okay, I'm gonna stop you. Now, where do you sing?
Let the horse torrent in the blue canyon, murmuring mightily on the green mist of primal chaos.
Great poetic language.
Yeah.
And we don't know what that means really. so what you'll have to do is really, what you think is too much is really not enough.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's too much. It sounds like it's ridiculous. You feel ridiculous. But to the audience, it's everything you need to understand every word you're saying. So, and especially where it is in the voice. So it's on the lower side. So what I would encourage you to do is really release this and just let the breath do the consonant. Let the breath do the work. And whatever you think is too much, do like 2 times that. Okay? So it's not, it won't be too much. I want you to overdo it.
Just measure before.
Let the horse torrent in the blue canyon, murmuring mightily out on the gray midst of primal chaos.
Okay, stop you. Did you hear everything you
Yeah.
said? That was clear. Now, you felt like you were doing too much.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. Okay, so that, be confident about overdoing it, especially with English. English is a consonant-focused language. It's not romantic. It's not about the vowels. It's all about the consonants. And you need breath to facilitate consonants. And so don't think that what you're doing is too much. We will appreciate it because we want to hear what you're saying. that draws us in, okay? That was good. Let's do that again, and I'll let you go on.
Let the horse torrent in the blue canyon, murmuring mightily out on the gray midst of primal chaos. Cease not proclaiming how I adore thee. Let the long rhythm of crunching rollers breaking and bursting on the wide seaboard titan and tireless tell while the world stands how I adore thee.
I'm gonna do that again. You said that. So take your time. You have time. It's sometimes when you feel like you have a lot to say, you may feel like you don't have the time you need, but you do. So don't rush it. Take the time to reset so you can let that love rip. Okay. Yeah, but that's what it is. We want you to hurl it at us. We want to hear it. Can you set her up? Well, how can we get into that? It's a little different. Okay, that's good.
Let the long rhythm of crunching rollers breaking and bursting on the wide seaboard titan and tireless tell while the world sings how I adore thee.
Lay it out.
Let the clear call of the tree cricket, frailest of creatures, green as the young grass, mark with his trilling resonant bell note.
Do that again. With this trilling resonant.
Mark with his trilling resonant bell note.
Right.
How I adore thee.
Relax. Let the breath out. Reset.
But more than all sounds, surer, serener.
Okay, stop. Okay. So here, now you're like writing this is like a love song. Okay, so now we're getting into the phrases where every comma here is purposeful because it's like you're saying sure, serener, like you're looking for words, you have words, you don't know what to say, but stuff is coming out and it's love, it's crazy, you know? That's how you should be mindful in all the stops there. And when you're phrasing there, release the breath. Every time you have a phrase, just let it go. Okay? Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, it's a ride, but you can't hold the breath in. You have to ebb and flow it.
Yeah.
Okay?
But more than all sounds.
Yes, that's right.
But more than all sounds, surer, serener, fuller of passion and exaltation.
Okay, I'm gonna stop you. Okay, so take. Now we're over the staff.
Yeah.
Now we can do some things, okay? So when you get over the staff, right, we modify through the vowel U. Okay? So we're not gonna say tay, because if we say tay, then we'll probably say tay. And we really want to keep the vowel tall, right? So we say tu. It may sound like tu to you, but out here we'll get the vowel. You'll have to work through that. It's a whole process to learn how to modify through the vowel. But to keep you from becoming wider, I would encourage you to think U to the vowel above the staff, particularly anything over F. So G and above. So we're thinking exalted. like, it may sound like that to you, but it won't sound like that out there. Does that make sense? We can try it. It's just a note.
Full of passion.
Full of passion and exaltation.
Keep going.
Let the hushed whisper in thine own heart say, how I adore thee.
That was good modifying. That's here. Sometimes the mind doesn't sync with the body when you want to do that. But that was good to do it on the spot. Okay. Do you have any question for me?
No.
What's the time? Are we
That's
that's time? Okay, great. That was good.
Who's next? Is it Rachael?
My name is Rachel Farquharson. I go to Early College Alliance at Eastern Michigan University, and I'm going to be singing Honor, Honor by Hall Johnson. King Jesus lit the candle by the waterside to see the little children when they truly baptized. Honor, unto the dying Lamb. King Jesus lit the candle by the waterside to see the little children when they truly baptized. Honor, unto the dying Lamb.
Okay, we'll be organic. We're gonna be organic. Really enjoyed hearing you sing this. Tell me what you're singing about.
I am a person who is encouraging children to be baptized so they can be cleansed of their sin.
Simple message. Yeah. What I'd like to hear from you, first of all, just to see how it feels, I'd like you to give me stronger consonants. When you speak it, I understand every word. When you're singing it, I don't.
Okay.
Okay, like, as Kisma was just saying earlier, that English is a consonant language, we kind of have to lean into the consonants, and you'll find that the consonants help your technique. It'll help you more than you expect. Can you exaggerate it for me for a minute? Just try it. Just start it. I'll just have you do a couple phrases. Exaggerate the words for a minute. Like you're speaking to children who have hearing impairment.
King Jesus lit the candle by the waterside to see the little children when they truly baptized. Honor, unto the dying Lamb.
Okay, good. Did you do it again? doesn't it? It kind of makes you keep the tone in the same place too. Yeah, it makes your resonant more consistent. That's good. So there's one other thing I wanted to try with you. Let me just see if I have a tool here. Hold on 1 second. Yes, I do. This moves a little, right? Yeah, okay, hold on. It's not this that I'm going to use. But I need this chair. This is a little tool that one of my colleagues at Bowling Green taught me years ago. Are you enjoying this? All right, so I'm going to put this here. I hope this won't dig into your back. I want you to sit there. And I want you to put your back right up against the back of the chair. And your feet are going to be square on the ground. And while you're singing, I'd like you to push that chair through the wall, through your butt. Every time while you're singing, the whole time just push with your feet. Just see how it feels.
King Jesus set the candle by the waterside to see the little child when the truly baptized. On, to the dying love. King Jesus set the candle by the waterside to see the little child when the truly baptized. On, to the dying love.
Okay, well, I'll let you on in the high in a minute, but how did that feel?
I felt more connected to my body.
It's just a weird little trick that gets it kind of quickly, doesn't it? Where do you feel it the most in your body? Yay! That's the right answer. Did you guys hear a difference?
Yeah.
Yeah, you sound glorious. It's really beautiful. Want to try the high section like that? Push a little harder with your feet. You should kind of feel it in your thighs too. Although you might not feel it the same way when you stand up, but good.
Here's Untitled.
Very, very nice. How did that feel? It's easier, isn't it? Can you remember how that feels and stand up and try it?
I will try it.
It doesn't feel quite the same. You might still engage your legs.
You do.
know? The little bit of muscle activity that you felt in your legs. Yeah.
I was
please help.
telling you here, so to kind of mimic that feeling, what you would want to do is drop your knees a little bit and blow into your body here, right? So it kind of like pulls you underneath. Keep your frame up here. That's the head, forehead, Dr. Rodgers saying. But when I always liken it to, this isn't, you'll get what I'm saying. If someone wanted to take you, what would you do? You drop your body weight, right? If someone wants to pull you, that's what you do, right?
Yeah.
If they were trying to take, that's what you need. That is the weight that you drop. If you don't do it from here, put a leg here, put one in front, so you have that open space. So you like to move when you sing, I do too. And you still have this movement here, but you still have the weight that you experienced in the chair to help keep your body underneath your breath. Does that make sense? So just try that and see if it feels the same.
Anywhere you want. Want to do the high part?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Back to the same place.
Yes.
Oh,
drop back down, release that breath, and just reset every time.
And remember your diction.
That last one.
Unto the dying love, I pray all day.
Yeah, now, see, those are sustained phrases. Did you have something you want to say about that? Because I do.
Right. We're talking about, cradle. So we want to have a little spinning top there.
Okay.
Cradle, cradle day. And that gives direction to your phrase as well, okay? So think about just instead of holding that, so I'm noticing you're holding here. Pray,
Maybe you even experiment with making a little more prayed all day, just to see how that may release whatever tension you're feeling in your
Right.
You want to try that?
Right there.
I pray all day, I pray all night, my head God's sprinkle, I do midnight dew. On unto the dying light, until it be baptized, by the in the waterside. On unto the dying light, until it be baptized, by the in the waterside. On unto the dying light.
Bravo. We have time to
Voice.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. Anything else you want to say?
No, that was it. All that voice.
Mm.
Please, can we have it? We would love to have it. Thank you.
Well done. I don't remember who's next. Wait, I have it right here. Sarah. We've worked together before.
Yes.
Let's hear you. Have you made any progress?
She made any progress.
Oh, okay, I see how it is. Oh, okay.
She did. She went after Sloane. Yeah.
So I sit with my name and then school and song, correct?
Yes, please.
Well, my name is Sarah Wright. I am from Hartland High School, and I'll be singing Come Down Angels by Undine Smith-Moore. Come down, angels, and trouble the water. Come down, angels, trouble the water. Come down, angels, trouble the water. Let God saints a coming. Come down, angels.
I was an angel, so come on down, I was an angel too, so I would sing the same way. I love the color in your voice. It's very soprano. And I'd like to hear you bring some more consistency on the middle high part. So the same fullness I'm getting on the come on angels. That, right?
Yeah. Part of my picture is, I'm like, I've been sitting for a little bit, and I was like, I'm hoping I can sing these high notes. I'm like, oh, I made it through them, so. But yes, yeah, totally, like adding more.
Right, so we just need to ground that breath so we can bring the same support up, same color up, so it's consistent from the. So let's just do a little exercise because this could just be a quick fix. So can you sing the.
Come down, angels, trouble the water. Come down, angels, trouble the water. Come down, angels, trouble the water. Let God saints a come in.
Okay, so when you, I feel like you're rushing that.
Yeah, I think I need to, I've been working a little bit on like putting the C a little bit before the note on that one.
Okay.
So C gets me off guard a little bit and makes me rush a bit. So
You have
I
time.
think that's, yeah.
You have, just think that you have time. And to sing through it, so you don't have to clip it. Because I think that could be part of that. So let's try it with music, because I know that's the other factor. But don't rush that, and don't clip it. Just, I'd rather you hold it,
Okay.
just so that it's supported and on the breath, and you're singing through that note, than to just kind of, does that make sense? what I'm
Yes,
saying?
makes
Okay.
sense.
Come down, angels, trouble the water. Come down, angels, trouble the water. Come down, angels, trouble the water. Let God saints a come in.
Yeah, that
That
felt
was
better.
a clip, right? You're saying
Yeah.
clip. So the other word and note is down. Come down. So it's a little come. So can you spin the breath through that note? Come down. Okay. Just keep spinning through that as opposed to come down and stopping there.
Yeah, yeah.
Sing through that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, let's try that.
Come down, angels.
I heard
Without
what you were talking about there.
Without
yeah.
the music. So just sing it by yourself.
Come down, angels.
Slow down. So you're gonna sing it slow. Come down, angels.
Come down,
Right.
angels.
Okay, do it again.
Come down,
So
angels.
stop on down and hold it out.
Come
Relax.
down.
Now you gotta relax.
Yeah.
Okay. So usually a fast vibrato probably means that your breath is a little tight. Okay, so we're just gonna relax into that, release whatever you have. You have the breath to do it. We don't need to think about it.
Yeah.
Dr. Rodgers said it earlier, the breath is already there. Your body's gonna take care of it. All we have to do is just be mindful of where we're going and direct the breath, right? Okay,
Sounds good.
so let's try that.
Just slower down too.
Come down, angels.
Great. That.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm gonna see how much it's a little
Yeah,
quick
yeah.
fix. I didn't think it was a huge thing, just a little.
Yeah, that was,
pick that up.
that was
along the way.
huge. Yeah.
Right, so just relax the breath and remember to just flow it through. We're just spinning it through, that's it. Even on a fast song, just because it's fast, it doesn't mean that you have to stop the breath. You have the time, you do. Where are we going to go? We're listening to you sing the song.
Yeah, I think I want to practice the song too, like working on it, singing it slower too, so I get used to that feeling. Because I think that'll help too,
And
rather
that's
than
a-
just jumping in with like full speed ahead. Ah, like I go like, ah,
That's
and
smart,
then
girl.
and then speed out.
Right, and that's a note for all fast songs, because you may have a tendency to rush things because it's fast. it's good to slow it down, learn it slow, and then bring it back up to tempo, just so that you make sure that the breath is consistent through those phrases because they are faster. Smart girl. Okay.
Thank you.
Let's just go from the top.
Okay. And just keep going until you stop me? Sounds good.
Maybe not back, but just like.
But it's
so
like, it's in like.
They're loose.
Yeah, they're like connected to the neck more.
I don't know.
I don't know.
What I saw, what I was trying to get, and I think what you achieved, and that's what gave you all those good sensations, was that every time you're singing Trouble in the Water, you're doing something with your head. And I think you're articulating with your head, which is substituting for a little bit of support. So when you stabilize that, and it doesn't have to feel tense, but you stabilize it, then your body had to respond in a different way, and you felt good.
Yeah.
So that's amazing, and we may talk about it in different ways, but you achieved what I wanted you to achieve. It sounded really good too, didn't it? Yeah.
It sounded awesome. Thank you.
Okay. Do we have time to have her sing a little more?
You do.
Okay. Why don't you just play around with that? You don't have to put your hands there, but just think of that. You can think of this joint here, where your spine actually goes into your skull, is actually right under here. This is where the weight-bearing portion of the spine is. So if you think of that joint as being kind of liquid all the time, like a bobblehead, it kind of changes your posture a little, doesn't it? You feel kind of soft and squishy right in here.
Yeah, I think I'm getting there.
Yeah. Come on, angels, and trouble the water, trouble the water. I feel like a lot of stuff has to happen here if I'm just loose here. So you try yourself.
Come down, angels, and trouble the water. Come down, angels, and trouble the water. Come down, angels, trouble the water. Let God's saints come in.
How's that feel?
Yeah, it's definitely getting there. I think I can
You guys
work on that
hear
consistency.
what she's doing?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I hear it.
Anything else you want to add?
No, I just want to remind you about spinning through when you're angels coming through there.
my old teacher would have told me to think of it going upwards instead.
Yeah.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, it does.
I don't sing it right, but you will.
Sweet, yeah. Is it okay if I end up doing some motions during it too
Yeah.
to help me remember some of the notes that you guys
Yeah,
have?
try it.
Great, thank you. Just from the beginning, or?
Sure.
Come down, angels, and trouble the water. Come down, angels, trouble the water. Come down, angels, trouble the water. Let God say to come in. Come down, angels, and trouble the water. Come down, angels, trouble the water. Come down, angels, trouble the water. Let God say to come in. I love to shout, I love to sing. Let God sing to come in. I love to praise my heavenly King. Let God sing to come in. Oh, come down, angels, and trouble the water. Come down, angels, trouble the water. Come down, angels, trouble the water. Let God sing to come in. Let's keep going? Okay. I think I hear the Savior say, let God sing to come in. My Savior taught me how to pray. Let God sing to come in. Oh, come down, angels, trouble the water. Come down, angels, trouble the water. Come down, angels, trouble the water. Let God sing to come in. Down, 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 trouble the water. Let God sing to come
Yeah.
What is that for? Where you're singing that?
Down, down.
Down, okay.
So I think I need more
It sounds
pronunciation.
like day down.
Ah.
Right, so A.
Yeah.
Mm.
Are we out of time?
You got about 2 minutes.
Okay.
You want the end?
We're gonna do something about that.
Yeah, so when you do that, down, it's all over the staff. So this is the same idea about, you can't really sing true vowels over the staff because it'll just make you spread. And the goal is to try to stay, up and tall, not wide.
Mm-hmm.
So when you are, down, this is a B, no,
Be nice.
that's a B natural. Ooh, okay. So B naturals are funny because they're basically like in the crossover. They're like in the passagio.
Mm-hmm.
Sa B flat, sa C. So, but just thinking you, I just want you to think about singing you. Don't think down. I would just like to hear you say you. Okay. And that's really just to get you taller and make sure that it's right now it's more supportive. That's why I just want to hear you do that.
Okay, so I'm you.
Yep, just you. Right, so, yeah.
Yeah, you're.
So shake that loose, right?
Yeah.
So when you're thinking, singing you, just you. So if you put your mouth in it, shake now. When you're singing a high note and it's loud. You gotta open your mouth to do that.